You wake up and reach for your phone. You tell yourself, today will be different. You sit down to work with a clear plan. Yet by mid-morning, your focus has dissolved into static. You blame yourself, your discipline, your motivation. But the truth is far more invisible than that. You are not losing focus by accident. You are losing it through 6 small habits you barely notice. Each one feels harmless on its own. Together, they are quietly dismantling your ability to think deeply. Most people think becoming a millionaire looks dramatic. Most people think becoming a millionaire looks dramatic. Cane, luxury cars, massive houses. But hacks cannot fix what habits keep breaking. The architecture of your attention is built one moment at a time. In the next few minutes, we will walk through 6 habits. Each one steals focus without making a sound. By the end, you will recognize at least 3 in your own life. That recognition is where real change begins. These habits are not unusual. They are the default settings of modern life. That is exactly what makes them dangerous. They hide inside what feels completely normal. The first habit is the one almost everyone underestimates. It happens before your day has even started. The habit is checking your phone within minutes of waking. It feels normal because everyone you know does it. But neuroscience reveals something troubling here. Your brain enters the day in a fragile, suggestible state. In those first waking minutes, your prefrontal cortex is still calibrating. It is choosing what to prioritize for the hours ahead. When you flood it with messages, headlines, and notifications, you train it. You teach it that attention belongs to other people first. That single habit sets the tone for everything else. Your focus becomes reactive instead of intentional from the first breath. Within minutes of waking, you have already consumed dozens of pieces of input. Your attention is fragmented before breakfast. But there is something even more surprising about this pattern. The damage is not just psychological, it is biological. Cortisol spikes when you encounter unexpected information first thing. Your nervous system enters a low-grade stress state. You spend the rest of the day trying to come back down. Most people think millionaire realize they started already activated. The fix is simpler than it sounds. Delay your first phone check by 30 minutes. Let your mind wake on its own terms. Let your attention belong to you before it belongs to anyone else. Those 30 quiet minutes are not lost time. They are the foundation every focused hour later in the day depends on. The second habit is more disguised. It hides inside what looks like productivity itself. The habit is constant task switching, often called multitasking. You feel efficient when doing it, but the cost is enormous. Research from Stanford and University of London shows the same thing. Each switch leaves a residue in your brain. You think you moved from email to your document smoothly. In reality, part of your attention is still stuck on the email. This residue accumulates across the entire day. By afternoon, your brain is running 10 incomplete threads at once. You feel exhausted, but cannot remember doing anything deeply. That feeling is not laziness, it is cognitive fragmentation. This is the part most productivity advice never mentions. Switching is not a skill, it is a tax. The real high performers do not multitask better, they simply switch less often than everyone else does. The fix is to work in protected blocks of single task time. Even 30 minutes of one thing rebuilds your focus muscle. You do not need more hours in your day. You need fewer interruptions inside the hours you already have. Close every tab you are not using right now. Silence every chat window for a single block. Notice how quickly clarity returns. The third habit is hidden inside something we call rest. It feels like a break, but it is not one. The habit is scrolling social media when you are tired. You think you are recharging, but your brain is doing the opposite. True rest requires low stimulation. Scrolling provides extreme stimulation disguised as relaxation. Every short video and post triggers small dopamine releases. Your brain learns to expect novelty every few seconds. Then you return to your actual work, and anything requiring more than 10 seconds of patience feels unbearable. You did not lose focus during work. You destroyed it during the break. Picture this. You are working on something important. You feel resistance. You open a quick video for relief. 20 minutes later, you return to the task. But the task now feels heavier than before you left. That is not coincidence. That is your reward system being recalibrated against deep work. The fix is to choose boring rest. Walk without your phone. Stare out the window. Let your brain feel quiet again. This kind of rest feels strange at first. It may even feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is the withdrawal of an overstimulated mind. The fourth habit is one people are almost proud of. It sounds responsible, but it sabotages focus daily. The habit is keeping your notifications on throughout the day. You tell yourself you need to stay reachable for work, but every notification, even silent ones, creates a micro decision. Should I check it? Should I ignore it? What could it be? Each micro decision drains a small amount of mental energy. Multiply by hundreds, and you arrive at evening depleted. You did not work that hard. You decided that hard. What neuroscience discovered next changes everything. Your willpower and your focus draw from the same reservoir. Every notification that demands a choice withdraws from that account. By 3 in the afternoon, the account is empty. You blame yourself for losing motivation. The truth is, you spent it on alerts that did not matter. The fix is ruthless but worth it. Turn off every non-essential notification you have. Keep only direct human contact and emergencies. Your phone should serve your attention, not auction it off in tiny pieces. Within a week of doing this, your evenings will feel longer. Your energy will return without explanation. That is what reclaimed attention feels like. The fifth habit is the most emotionally heavy. It is also the hardest to see clearly in yourself. The habit is consuming negative or alarming content throughout the day. News cycles, outrage feeds, doom scrolling at lunch. Your brain treats negative information as urgent survival data. It cannot tell the difference between a distant crisis and a personal threat. So it stays alert. It stays vigilant. It stays unable to settle into deep work. You sit down to focus, but a low hum of dread occupies the background. You think you are simply unmotivated. You are not unmotivated. You are subtly afraid all day, every day, without realizing it. If you have experienced this, you are not alone, and you are not broken. The modern information environment is engineered to keep you activated. It profits directly from your inability to look away. The fix is to create firm information boundaries. Choose 2 specific times to consume news each day. Outside those windows, protect your nervous system like it is sacred, because for focus, it absolutely is. A calm nervous system is not a luxury. It is the soil that deep work can actually grow in. The sixth habit is the most invisible of all. It happens in the silence between everything else. The habit is never letting your mind be bored. Every empty moment gets filled with new input. Waiting in line, you scroll. Sitting on the toilet, you scroll. Lying in bed before sleep, you scroll. Boredom used to be where your brain consolidated thoughts. It was the workshop of deep insight and quiet creativity. By eliminating boredom, you eliminated your brain's recovery time. You closed the workshop and wondered why nothing meaningful gets built. Stay with me. This next part will explain something about your brain you have never been able to articulate. The default mode network activates only when you are not focused on a task. It is where creativity, memory, and identity quietly assemble themselves. When you scroll every empty moment, you shut this network down. You lose access to your own deeper thinking patterns. The fix is almost laughably simple. Let yourself be bored. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Boredom is not a problem to solve. It is the doorway your attention walks through to come home. The people you admire for their depth are not gifted. They simply allowed themselves to be bored long enough to think clearly. Comment: which of these 6 habits hit closest to your real life? Even one word answers are enough. Saying it out loud, even in a comment, makes it real. And real is the first step toward change. If you found yourself nodding through more than 3, drop the word focus below. It helps the algorithm find others like you. Now step back and see all 6 together. Phone first thing, task switching, scrolling for rest, notifications all day, negative content streams, the complete elimination of boredom. None of these feel destructive in the moment. That is precisely why they are so dangerous. What is coming next is the exact method that fixes this. You do not need to fix all 6 at once. Choose only the one that hit hardest while you were listening, the one that made you slightly uncomfortable inside. For the next 7 days, address only that one habit. Do not try to overhaul your entire life. Focus repair is not a transformation. It is a series of small corrections. Each correction compounds quietly over time. By the time you address the second habit, the first has become invisible. You will not even remember struggling with it. This is the part most people skip entirely. They want a complete reset overnight. But attention does not heal through dramatic gestures. It heals through unglamorous repetition in private moments. You will not feel different on day 1, or day 3, or maybe even day 7. But something will shift around day 10. A task you used to abandon, you will finish without strain. A book you could not read, you will sit with for an hour. A conversation you would have half attended, you will fully receive. That is what reclaimed focus actually feels like, not productivity. Presence. The 6 habits we covered today are doing damage right now. While you listen to this, they continued their quiet work. But knowing them is half of the defense. Naming them strips away their invisibility forever. You now see what was hidden in plain sight, and what you can see, you can change. Your attention is the most valuable thing you own. It is the lens through which your entire life passes. Every habit that scatters it is taxing your one finite resource. Every habit that protects it is paying you back. So tonight before you sleep, pick one. Just one of the 6 we discussed. Decide what you will do differently tomorrow morning. Write it on paper if you have to. Then keep it for 7 quiet days. No announcement, no performance, just steady practice. If this video gave you a moment of recognition, leave a comment with the number of the habit you chose. It helps others find this conversation. And if you want more videos that protect your attention instead of exploiting it, you already know what to do. Your hours are not infinite. Your focus is the currency you spend them with. Choose your habits, or your habits will choose your life.